All right. Well, it's back where we left off before we went on break here, Chuck. We was talking about recovery. You do recovery too, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Pour them big boats and stuff like that
Right.
out. I seen some video. We're gonna watch the video here in a little bit, too, about that helicopter. I might see that.
Yeah, that was a first. Many boats over the years, and never a helicopter until February last year.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, the guy is he's just a multi-millionaire, and I guess he flies this helicopter for fun, He flies the flight crew or the film crew for whatever news station it is down there in Tupelo, Mississippi. He flies a cameraman around for their aerial shots. Well, he was just dropped the cameraman off at the airport and he was headed home. He's got a big mansion, a big lake, private landing pad, and he's coming in. He said he thought he was over the tops of the trees, but when he looked, he was right over the top of the lake, and he went to pull up. His tail rotor hit the lake, and down he went. And of course, he couldn't get the doors open, and so he kicked out the front windshield of the helicopter and got out of that, swam to shore in the middle of February, and all he got out of it was a little scratch across the bridge of his nose. And the guy's 70-something years old, 71, 72 years old, about 6'5". When he shakes your hands, like gonna break your hand.
Yeah.
He's an
They
amazing
got
dude.
lucky on that then, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
So you got the copter and brought it back?
Yeah, we put 4 airbags on it and floated it to the surface, which it wasn't very deep. It was just below the surface. The water was only like 12 foot deep, and the top of the rotors were, maybe 6 or 8 inches underwater. So I put 4 airbags on it, floated it to the surface, and we dragged it towards shore where they had a crane set up and boomed it out of the water and put it on a trailer. He's already got him a new helicopter and flying it around.
Flying around,
Yeah. He's got a boat down there at Grand Harbor. He's got like a $1 million houseboat down there or something that I clean it every year for him.
Grand Harbor, that's a big old, yeah, that's part of that, when you go through Pickwick.
Yeah,
hit
that's
the 10 Tom.
Yeah, right
That's
there at
first
Yellow
one I've been
Creek.
there.
It turns into Tom Bigby Waterway.
Yeah, Tom Bigby, I call it 10 Tom, Tom
Right,
Bigby,
right.
that's where I
Same
went on,
thing.
going down to Mobile.
Mm.
Kinda like them multi-millionaires like Jason, they have to have toys to play with every once in a while. If you ever went around his place over here, you'll see a bunch of toys like it. You got a helicopter?
I ain't got a helicopter.
Not yet.
Not yet?
I don't like to fly. I'm not gonna fly.
You not gonna fly?
No. Why would I gonna fly?
You might need to
I
get
got
somewhere
nowhere to fly
fast.
to.
Yeah, that's right. It ain't that far from Promised Land to here to Cracker Barrel, is it?
Yeah, I guess you fly already. I ain't never flown.
I like to fly.
Did you really?
I used to fly
I ain't
a
never
lot.
flew in a helicopter once.
Really?
I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I was on life flight one time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah, I
the
know
I've
you
been in a
did that.
helicopter.
I'm glad you
But I like to
survived
fly
it.
in a plane. Well, that's a matter of opinion. A lot of people glad I did. A lot of people glad I survived. Some not so happy.
Yeah, that depends on who you
It
ask.
just depends on who you ask. You know.
That's pretty good, man.
Have we hit everything?
Now, we're gonna watch a little video here in a minute, but I just wanted to talk kind of a little bit more about these pearls, man. I was gonna ask you, and the mussels, like what are they really for? What do they do for the river?
The mussel shells,
Yeah, I mean,
where
what are
they're
they for?
uninoid, so they're filters, basically, is all they are. They don't mate, they're either born male or female, and when they're in the mud, doing their thing, they can feel a barometric pressure change when a fish is swimming by. They can feel it in the water, and they'll squirt out. I forget what the stuff is called, but it's essentially their babies, their eggs, and the fish sees that, thinks it's a worm, and eats it up. Just gobble, gobble, gobble. 90% of that's turned into a fish turd. 10% gets stuck in the fish's gills where it gestates into a mussel shell. Once it gets large enough, say the size of a grain of sand or something, it becomes an irritant to that fish, so it'll start swimming against the stump and trying to rub it off, or hitting the bottom, trying to get that irritant out of its gills. And wherever that shell falls off the fish is where it starts its life. Each shell has its own fish, so it's not like the catfish or the perch or the bass do it all. They're all involved. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting, man.
So what's so the mussel actually helps keep the river clean?
Oh
So
yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
that, right?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
just a filter. They keep the water,
Well,
very clean.
I know that you said before, I don't know what it was, last year maybe, or 2 years ago, when you was talking about going and you had to do a survey
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so,
Like if you own riverfront property or lakefront property and you wanna do some kind of addition, whether it be a boat ramp or, say, you wanna prevent soil erosion, rip wrap your riverbank there. Well, the state is concerned you're gonna damage the indigenous species of mussel shells that might be or might not be there in the water. So in order to find out, you have to have a shell survey done. And there's several companies that do that. I work for a particular company, and we go around and we lay out a grid. You know, it's a transect. It's essentially a train, you know, that stretches so many feet in a certain direction. And I go through that, I follow that chain, and I count how many shells are in the proximity of that chain. Then we'll move it so many feet and do it again. And if we find endangered species, you're not getting that permit. If we find a large bed of shells, you'll have to pay for a relocation before they'll give you that permit.
okay, that's what I was fixing to ask.
It's just a way to preserve the natural habitat of the lake, you know.
So you can.
You can do it,
Can
but
build, if somebody wanna build
Yeah,
it.
but you gotta have a survey.
Okay.
Is there a monitoring system to see exactly how healthy your population is
On the shells?
on the shelves?
Well, no, other than the fact that, you know, it's kind of sad, but, and it's nothing proven, set in stone yet, but our lake is starting to transform. Many years ago, TWA brought in Asian shells. They're little shells, they brought them from Asia, and they repopulate like crazy, but they brought them in here for feeder food, for fish, catfish primarily. Well, they've taken over, and not to mention the paper mills and all the chemical pollution on the river. Our shell population it's not in danger of going extinct, but the shells, like for example now, see how this has got a nice smooth bark all over it. It's all black.
Yeah, kind of show the camera.
It's all black. Now you can see where right here around the hinge area, a little bit of the bark is what this is called, is missing. Well, that's normal. But now we found that big flakes of the bark is peeling off these shells, and the cultured pearl dealers won't buy them. The shell buyers won't buy those because
Is it like a disease?
well, it is, and it's all speculative, but I think ever since they went to no-till farming,
Yeah.
they start spraying all these chemicals on the fields, you know, and what happens when it rains? First rain, all that stuff goes right into the river.
Absolutely.
And it coincides with the shape of our shelves now with this no-till farming. I'm like I said,
don't
there's
get
no
me started
proof.
on
Yeah,
it,
there's no proof.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say it's a contributing factor.
Well, yeah, don't even get started
Yeah.
about, I used to work on a big farm and we practiced a lot of holistic management stuff and you can't, with the Tennessee ag programs and the government programs, you can't even discuss with farmers the damage they're doing with no-till, you know, the spraying, the insects you kill,
Right.
what you do, you know.
Herbicides, pesticides,
All
all of
that,
it.
you
yeah.
know, the earth is a living organism, and you ought to have the same growth under the ground that you got on top of the ground.
Right.
We're killing everything in the ground,
Right.
bring it up, so don't even get me started on that, I'll be preaching here the rest
Well,
of the podcast.
rivers throughout the entire country are full of mussel shells. Now, Tennessee River happens to be very special because it contains more species than any other river. I'm thinking it's over 300 different species of shells that live in the Tennessee River. But there's other rivers throughout the country that, you know, have just completely been wiped out, no shell life at all because of pollution, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
So
sad.
how's that water, how's that water? You know, man, if no shells in there, is that water?
Well, it's not as clean, you know, as what we've got here, you know. I wouldn't be scared to take a Dixie cup and just reach out of the Tennessee River and take a drink. I mean, I spend 6 hours a day.
Tough, man, I don't know about all that.
Well, I mean, think about it. I'm in that water every day for 30 years. Well, not every day. 200 plus days a year I'm in that water for 30 years, and I rarely get sick. And I have psoriasis. I have a weakened immune system. I'm supposed to be the first one to get sick out of people, but I don't get sick because I play in the mud.
Mud and all the dirt and all, yeah, I got you.
So,
Good
but-
immune system.
Yeah, but the river is definitely, it's getting worse. Yeah, the standards of, I don't know. I mean, I think they should leave well enough alone. You know, they keep inventing new ways to do whatever, and it's hurting the river. The ecosystem is definitely changing.
So you have saw species that I tell people all the time, as a kid, you used to see green snakes everywhere.
Mhm.
We played with green snakes, you
Right.
couldn't go out in the yard without people.
Mhm.
And when's the last time you seen a green snake?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
What happened to them? Is that the same
question.
kind of thing you see with river? Do you see fishes and shells and clam, different things leaving and that you just don't see anymore?
Well, like for example, roadways, they just go down through there and spray all these
Right.
chemicals, you know, I mean, and all
Well,
that
there
stuff
you go.
is, like 30 years ago when I went diving, I could see the bottom, I could see like on a shallow bar, I could see the clay, I could see the rock, I could see, now everything's got 6 or 8 inches of dead Asian shells on top of it. And, we need a good flood, not to, get anybody, in trouble with the, flood damage or anything, but the river needs to be flushed out.
Cleansed out.
Yeah, and we haven't had a good flood since like 2019. And, yeah, it's definitely,
Yeah.
and sedimentation, the Tennessee River, man, I remember diving in spots now that are dry due to sedimentation,
Yeah,
you know.
everything's building up,
Yeah.
it's washing off, yeah.
Yeah. Some of the best shells, I mean, we're not diving 50 foot deep, now we can, but most of the really good quality of shells are found in less than 10 feet of water. you know.
Right. Well, me and Jason was on Sandbar this
Yeah.
summer, we was out there right past, I don't know, going towards Cuba Land, and that's what,
It's
past
called
the
Snake
70
Island.
bridge right there,
Snake
Snake
Island.
Island, it's knee deep, you look like you're in the middle of the
Right,
thing, you're standing out there,
right.
people looking at you
Yep.
like, well, we was digging, we was finding shells, and,
All kinds of
you know,
stuff
you
there.
step on, find those.
Well, when you cross the Highway 70 bridge going into Benton County from Humphreys County, if you look over there towards Eva, there's just a huge dry
Mhm.
at Winter Pool. The Tennessee River does fluctuate.
Right.
5 foot, summer pool is 5 foot deeper than Winter Pool. But over there in front of Eva, it's just a long, it used to never be there. It was never there. And it's right behind that land levee where it just, sedimentation is another huge problem with the river.
What's the deepest part of the river? You ever
The
done?
channel, oh gosh,
What's the footage
the
wise?
deepest I've ever been is like 55 feet.
What's the deepest part of the channel you know of? Where
There's
is
a
it?
spot somewhere over in East Tennessee, I think it's around 100 feet deep in the Tennessee River. And then just north of us, up in Kentucky, there's a spot like near 90 feet deep.
It's pretty deep,
It's
right?
Yeah,
pretty deep
yeah,
for a river, yeah. Absolutely.
But now, also over in there's spots of the Tennessee River that are, when it first starts out, just a few feet deep. But
Right.
Yeah.
Where does the Tennessee River start?
East Tennessee, I think it's the French Broad and, what's the other river? There's two main contributors to the Little Tennessee or something like that. I'd have to look at my map. But yeah, there's 2 contributors. And, the Tennessee River, another unique note of the Tennessee River, it's one of 3 rivers in the world that run north.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Yeah,
Amazon, the Nile, and the Tennessee River all
Yeah.
flow north.
Yeah, I heard that years ago, it's kinda wild,
Yeah.
Kinda runs uphill.
The
You think
Tennessee,
it does,
the
yeah.
Tennessee River, actually, the Indians used to call it, oh gosh, what was it? They had a completely different name for it. Maybe next time I'll remember it. But, yeah, the Tennessee River is a very unique and beautiful river.
Yeah.
It's unmatched by most any in the world, in my opinion.
Yeah, and most people, a lot of people, not like us, we're river rats. I love the river, Jason, you love the river. I mean, the Tennessee River's a beautiful place to
Oh,
go,
yeah.
just recreation.
Oh, yeah.
And just be a part of it. I go down there, I got my house at Cuba Land, and I like going down there this time of year I got about 10 acres down there, just do a little bonfire, go to the
Right.
river when the water's low, you can drive your side by side right
Right.
up down. And about sunset, there's not a more peaceful place
Mhm.
that you can just go and enjoy
Yeah, it's beautiful.
God's scenery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can sit there and reflect on the day or reflect on your week. And
Well, a lot of times when we go to Mississippi to work, we just camp out on an island down there and you just stay 2 or 3 days, and
Yeah.
it's beautiful, man.
it just kind of gives you a surreal, time slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I wish more people would do that, get back to just enjoying what our nature is and what.
Yeah, 'cause it belongs to everybody, I mean.
Well, now during
you
COVID,
know.
I think boat sales went through the roof,
It
man.
sure
Everybody
did.
and their daddy was out there on the river,
It was, I mean, they was everywhere.
It's about the only
Couldn't
place
do
that you
that
could go, without.
Yeah.
And COVID was a terrible thing, but at that aspect, it did kind of bring families back together.
It did.
And people kind of did outdoor stuff and kind of separated, but they was together. And we're such a rush, get it done 7 day a week, technology savvy driven. People forget, man, it's just, hey, that's been, last year was a great year. Me and Jace got to hang out a lot. We just go and sit and
Yeah, sitting in
have
the
a
water,
drink
man.
and watch the sunset and sit in the water and talk and catch up on their week.
Mhm.
And people that don't do it don't understand what river life's about.
I feel so bad for this next generation. I mean, all they know is these phones and I mean, they don't know what they're missing.
They don't. That's
They don't know
exactly
what they're
right.
missing.
No, they don't, a lot of memories, man, be made down there, you know, something you will never forget, you know.
Yeah.
Go there
Good
one
time.
weekend trip, I mean, you'll remember that.
Yeah, good times, man.
Mhm.
And just put the cell phones up, have a cold beer.
Yeah.
No, you know, we responsible drinking, but
Right.
you know,
You gotta be responsible.
Yeah, I always have a
Hey, anytime.
designated driver.
look, and anytime you wanna go find Jason, he's not gonna be far from the dock, just so you
He can leave his boat anchored and swim.
you just swim out there and hang out with him, cause he can't make it too far away
Yeah,
from the
Chuck
dock.
has several times, he's
Yeah.
out there.
He's not far,
Yeah.
finding another Barnes boy, Kevin Stringer running wide open up
Yeah.
down through the rivers and
Yeah.
he does a bunch of
Hey, but every
birds.
time I come back in, I still got a full tank of gas.
It don't cost as much, does it?
They don't cost me nothing. Just put it out there, man.
Just put it out there.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it, man.
What's,
Yeah, we,
Keith, have you ever been, diving, or you got any, what's your thoughts on today?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I know you don't get out there much, but I know you said before that you wanted to.
Yeah,
You
maybe
wanted to
we,
get out there.
maybe we can take a lot of skiing this year. You gonna go out skiing with us?
Yeah, you don't like skiing, I heard that.
Yeah. Chuck, is anything else that you want, just tell everybody one more time how to get a hold of you. Like I said, I'm
Yeah.
gonna use you this spring to come wash my boat. And it's down there, you know where my boat is, anytime you wanna do it, come closer to spring.
And plus too, you know, you tell them too, but, I mean, anybody can, when they tune in here, you know, it'll be a link at the bottom too.
Okay, cool.
With your number to get you out
Nice.
there. And it's called, what do you, is it Chuck Work Dive?
Yeah, I don't really have a name, you know.
I know I
my
got a call
company.
from you one time and,
Just Chuck the Divers, how everybody
Chuck the
knows me.
Diver, yeah.
But, yeah, you know, if you ever lose your phone out, in the- you know, especially if it's an iPhone, most of them are waterproof these days. And back in the old days, I used to get a lot of phones because people just wanted the SIM card out of them, you know, because the phone was trash, but the SIM card still retained all the information and pictures and whatnot. But, boat sinks, you know, need algae cleaned off the bottom, props, anodes, you know, search and recovery, just anything underwater I can handle. The only thing I haven't ever done underwater is weld, so.
Hmm.
You hang out down there at the bridge down there, so, what do they call it, Sullivan
Sullivan
Island?
Harbor,
Sullivan
Sullivan
Harbor.
Harbor now, yeah, I live on a boat down there, and, so I'm always right there on the job.
Right there in New Johnsonville.
Yeah, New
So anybody around New
Tennessee.
Johnsonville knows Chuck the Diver.
Pretty much, yeah, there's people that know me that I'm like, and who are you?
Yeah.
Right, but you get a reputation, ain't no people, many people do what you do, so.
Yeah, I've never really had to advertise, cause the boat world, you know, it's people, you know, they're tight-knit family and.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth has always been, you know, pretty much all of my business, but, yeah, you know,
So if they
again,
see you down there hanging out at Sullivan Cove, what's it called?
Sullivan Harbor.
Sullivan Harbor.
It used to be.
Are you
know,
approachable dude, or are you kinda unapproachable?
No, I'm approachable.
So come out and hang out with Chuck,
Yeah,
have a beer,
by all
talk about
means.
your boat,
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about diving,
Yeah,
you know, sit.
yeah, my phone number again is 731-845-4027, and yeah, if there's anything I can help you with, now, along from diving, I've also provided tow services, you know, like Towboat US. I don't try,
Jason needs your number.
I got it.
I don't try
I've
to,
used it.
I don't try to compete with Towboat, but, you know, occasionally, you know, I have had people want me to tow, I've towed docks, you know, 80 miles down the river from Kentucky to Sullivan Harbor. Boathouses, we brought 3 boathouses down the river. Those are some pretty neat videos.
Yeah, I seen that one you was doing, and I mean, you was doing them back to back here for a little
Yeah,
bit, couple
yeah,
of weeks there.
yeah,
You-
yeah, and of
Towed
course, you know,
there.
that's a slow ride, you know, at 5 miles an hour to go 60 miles, you know,
Yeah.
it'd take a couple of days sometimes, just beach it and camp out and get up and go again the next day.
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite things to do, Jason knows, is sit on the front of the boat tied up until you slip and watch people unload and load, and people come and go. So I wanna hear Chuck's best story Cause you've been on a bunch of docks, you know what I'm saying?
God,
You've watched
I
a lot of things, you know, and you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
Anybody that's ever been around the water loves to watch boat slips failures. So
Yeah.
tell me a good boat slip
God,
failure.
there's so many. I would have to
Yeah.
think about that for a moment.
It's usually, I mean, they do good to get there in the morning. I mean, everything's smooth.
It's you out there
It's
taking a
just-
drink
it's
and the
just-
sun's
yeah.
hot.
Coming back in, they're a little rough. You know.
I've seen a bunch of divorces happen right there on the boat slip.
Right.
You know
A
what
lot of
I'm
arguments, that's
Yeah.
for sure. A lot.
saying? I love going down to Key Lane and sitting there in the evening time watching. I'm thinking, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're in trouble when you get home because you know he's
Yeah.
done about tanked up and hot.
Was you with us when that one dude bitched his whole trailer and just put half his nice pontoon? Tried to. Nice tried to. on
Was it me?
it. No.
Okay, let's tell it then.
Hey, but he messed half of it, half of it was on there, and it just coming
Drug
the
up
back,
that concrete and bouncing
Yeah,
up
they-
there.
they
And
break it,
of course
they
it
break
was his
it a little
wife's
bit.
fault. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
oh,
It
yeah.
was her fault. It
Oh,
was.
they was arguing, she was cussing. We all got back on there though, you know, that's another thing too about people down there at the boat place, man, they willing to help. You know?
Oh, yeah, definitely people are willing to help you. But yeah, I've seen too many, I couldn't even pick one. I really wouldn't know where to begin.
So if anybody wants to have a good Saturday, Saturday evening, Sunday evening, sometimes, most times Saturday evening.
Saturday evening.
Don't bring your kids.
Yeah.
Bring you and your wife or significant other, go down there and just pull up a ramp and sit chair at the boat ramp and get your
Bring your
cooler, sit
cooler.
there.
Right?
And just watch people start unloading, especially on the 4th of July,
Uh-huh.
Memorial Day, Labor
Always
Day.
interested.
Now, I do have an idea that I always wanted to try. I saw it on the internet. It's not an original idea, but there's this group of people that would make up signs like you can do it and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and they'd stand at the boat ramp, and as people start
I've
backing
seen
down,
that.
they'd be like,
Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
just waiting for them to mess
I
up.
mean, it'd be rows of them
Yeah,
on each
yeah,
side.
yeah.
It's
30
all fun and
people.
games till you get punched in the mouth. Get punched in the
Oh, I've
mouth.
had that happen too.
So,
It gets a little wild down there now.
Yeah.
Well, the wake zone is the worst, you know. If you're on a boat and you're around a marina, respect the wake zone. Because people have got their expensive boats tied up to the slips, and when somebody comes through there with a wake and everything just starts rocking and rolling, I mean, there's damage that can take place.
So damage can take
Yeah.
place. It also causes the erosion to the,
Oh, and
to,
when
the
I-
to the banks.
When
and
I
the
was
soil.
on DDOT
Yeah,
for all those years, no telling how many times I'd yell at somebody, slow down, no wake zone.
So you're that guy that yelled at me that
Oh,
time.
yeah, probably so. Well, I had one guy, you know, I yelled at his dad who was on the jet ski, you know, and the dad just took off, you know. About an hour later, the guy comes back, where is that son of a gun, you know, I wanna kick his, you know. I was like, I'm right here, hang on, let me get my pants on. So I met him up at the top of the ramp, you know, and I was gonna let him hit me first, cause then I got, you know, probable cause to do what I gotta do. He hit me in the nose, and I swung back, he grazed him on the chin. He come back to me again, and I got him in a headlock, I started pounding him. Jason remembers, he's the one that stopped the fight. I'm trying to throw the dude over the boat rail into the drink, you know, and Jason's like, come on guys, we don't need this guy.
Come on, just settle down. Nothing to see here. Come on.
So I said, Jason, if I let him go, he better leave. He's like, are you gonna leave? Yeah, I'll leave.
Yeah, right now.
Oh, that's good stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can just see
I don't
Jason.
like that, but it did happen.
You know, you just see Jason. He's just laughing. He going, "Come on, guys, you know,
Let's calm it down.
calm
a
it
bit.
down here." Nothing to
It's
see
all
here.
fun and games. Nothing to see here, yeah.
Right.
Nothing to see here.
And I was going to get some ice cream, man. They had their ice cream truck over there.
Right, yeah.
Was it Katie's?
And then Jake was blocking the ramp. You couldn't go get no kind of Katie's ice
Get
cream.
no ice cream, man. But we did get it.
You got your ice
Yeah, I
cream?
got my ice cream. We did get it.
Nobody went to jail?
No, yeah.
The guy, well, now here, you know, that was funny too, 'cause I was just gonna let it be as a, you know, fist fight on the boat. I mean, no need to get the law involved, but they got more important things to do, come down and worry about that. But the owner of the marina is like, he called me up, he said, Chuck, are you gonna call the law? I was like, no, I ain't gonna call over a fist fight at the boat ramp, why? You got, you know, well, I can't have that around here, if you don't call them, I'm going to. I was like, what? So I said, all right, I'll call them. So it's gonna be better coming from me, you know,
Right.
than the owner of the marina.
Yeah.
So I called 911, they sent a deputy out. And the guy that I got in a fight with was wanted. He had missed probation several times, and he was wanted, and Yeah, he did end up going to jail.
That's good. I mean, I need people to go to jail too. That's how I make my living. I'm a bail bondsman, so hey, I don't take it personally. To go to jail, I need people to go to jail.
Right?
So
He's
good
there
fist,
handing out cards.
yeah, good fist fight. Here you go, call.
Well, maybe we can work out a deal. I clean your boat for a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, we can always do that.
Hopefully I won't go to
That's a
jail.
pretty good deal. That's a pretty good deal, Chuck. As long as it's not on a holiday, weekend.
Wait a minute.
I got why I don't get out of bed much.
That's when it happens.
My phone rings a lot on the holidays. I'm like, I'm at the river, dude. I'm not coming over to get you out.
It's always alcohol involved.
Yeah, call somebody else.
I
There's plenty of
guarantee
bondsmen on the list.
Has anybody ever just went to jail wild, just not been on drugs or alcohol? It's always alcohol involved, I've always thought. Everything I've done bad in my life
Was alcohol involved, yeah, mine too.
Or woman, or relationship related. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that day I got in the fight, I was stone cold sober.
Yeah.
It was like 11 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
Yeah, I guess it was.
This guy-
You done got all stirred up at 11 o'clock
the
in the
guy
morning.
did, yeah.
Hey, it's a good thing y'all got it on
He
at
looked like
11,
he
not
was on
5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. That'd been real fun watching, wouldn't it?
He looked like he was on drugs.
Yeah.
Skinny as a rail.
He's skinny.